This is the PuraFlame Klaus 33-inch electric fireplace insert, and I've been using it long enough to know what feels great and what needs a little patience. I went for this because I wanted the classic hearth look without hauling wood, cleaning ash, or worrying about chimney drafts. The promise is simple: a plug-in insert that drops into an existing fireplace opening, looks like a real fire, and adds a bit of heat when you want it. From my experience, that promise mostly holds up. And it looks better than I expected the first time I powered it on. The look is traditional in a good way. The glass door and the mesh screen make a big difference because they soften the LED flame and give the front a real fireplace presence, not a TV screen with flames. The interior brick pattern on 3 sides catches light convincingly, so the fire has depth instead of that flat cutout vibe you see on cheaper units. The resin logs stand tall, about 11–13/16 inches, and the ember bed glows underneath with a slow pulse that reads as warm even when the heater's off. With the trim kit mounted, the whole piece frames the opening and hides gaps, so the setup looks like it belongs. On paper, the overall dimensions with the trim kit are roughly 44.1 inches wide, 31.5 high, and 10 deep. That matters if you're measuring a tight masonry opening. It comes in 2 packages, which surprised me at delivery, but it all fit together cleanly. The finish is a clean black, and while the product page says freestanding, it's really built to sit flat on the hearth floor as an insert. The front glass stays cool to the touch, which gives me peace of mind when people or pets wander close. The first time I turned it on, the flames looked better than I expected, and the crackling sound got my attention. I know fake fire audio can be a deal breaker. Here, the crackle is adjustable, and when I set it to a lower volume, it fades into the background nicely. On the highest setting, it can sound a little recorded, so I leave it a notch down. The flame has 3 brightness levels. I keep it mid-level at night for a cozy glow and bump it brighter if the room is already lit. Heat-wise, this is a 750 to 1500 watt unit, so it's a supplemental heater for up to about 400 square feet. That means it will take the edge off in a living room, but won't replace your furnace in cold snaps. The fan pushes warm air from the top vent, and after the heat cycles off, it runs for a few seconds to cool the element. That's normal and noted in the manual. The fan noise is there. I'd call it soft white noise, noticeable in a quiet room, but it disappears when the TV's on or there's conversation. The remote is simple and does what it should: on, off, flame, heat level, thermostat, and sound. It uses 2 AA batteries included. Mine responds best with line of sight. If I angle too far to the side or block the receiver, it doesn't always register. There's a confirmation beep you can't mute. Not a deal breaker, but I wish there were a way to turn that off late at night. Install was easy. This sits flat in the firebox and plugs into a standard 120-volt outlet. No venting, no gas line, no hardwiring. That's a major win for me. 2 caveats from my setup. 1, you'll want an outlet close to the opening, ideally inside the firebox, because the cord needs to run cleanly and it's not designed to be hardwired. 2, extension cords aren't recommended, so plan the outlet location before you unbox. The cord on mine exits on the right side when facing the unit, so I routed it accordingly. Key features that matter to me day to day start with the LED flame. It's energy efficient and you can run it without heat year-round, which I do all the time. The thermostat is basic. Think comfort range, not precise half-degree control. That's fine for me. I use the Klaus for zone heating in the evenings, and then I turn the central system down. The glass door and mesh screen combo looks authentic, and the mesh diffuses the light in a way that hides the digital feel. The trim kit really finishes the look, so even when it's off, it reads like a built-in. From my experience, the realism is the standout. The 3-sided brick interior and the resin logs pull your eyes in, and the downlighting keeps the logs from turning into silhouettes when the room is dark. The crackle at a modest volume is a surprisingly pleasant touch. It's that tiny cue that tells your brain, I'm by a fire. And it helps a lot more than I expected. The convenience is the next big one. No soot, no ash, no chimney issues. I slid it in, plugged it in, and it just worked. If you've ever priced a gas insert or a chimney relining, you know how expensive that path gets. In my opinion, this hits that sweet spot of cost, look, and effort. It's perfect for anyone with a dead or drafty fireplace who wants to bring the room back to life without renovating. Safety and comfort also stand out. The front glass stays cool. The heater has overheat protection. Air vents are accessible for cleaning, and a quick vacuum now and then keeps dust from building up. The fact that I can run the flame without heat means I actually use it in the summer for ambiance during dinner or movie nights, and it doesn't turn the room into a sauna. There are a few things I'd tweak if I could. The heater is strictly supplemental, which is expected for 1500 watts, but it's worth repeating so no one expects a whole home miracle. The fan is audible. It's not loud, but it's present. The beep on remote commands can't be silenced, and because it can't be hardwired, you have to plan the cord path carefully, or it'll bug you every time you look at the hearth. I also learned to check the packaging for all parts, like the door handles, as soon as the boxes arrive. Mine was complete, but I've seen reports of missing bits that customer service had to send out. In my opinion, the value here is strong. The flame looks good, the build feels solid, and the trim makes it look like part of the house. The unit gives me enough heat for comfort in a focused area, and the ambience is honestly the main reason I bought it. It turns a cold, unused opening into a focal point. And I ended up using it more than I thought I would, because there's no mess or prep. It's perfect for homeowners who want an easy, clean upgrade to an existing fireplace opening. If you're renting and have a suitable recessed area with power nearby, it can work as a reversible install, but plan that cord path. If your goal is primary heat, look elsewhere. If your goal is vibe, this nails it. I'd recommend this for anyone who cares about the look of a classic hearth, wants a simple install, and is happy with supplemental heat. The style leans traditional, the flames are warm-toned and believable, and the crackle, kept subtle, adds to the experience. The spec sheet says 44.1 inches wide by 31.5 high by 10 deep with the trim, and that's about right for how it sits in my opening. It's vent-free, LED-driven, and the remote plus thermostat make it truly set and enjoy. In conclusion, the PuraFlame Klaus 33-inch electric fireplace insert does exactly what I wanted. It brings back the heart of the room without the hassle. The key features that matter: realistic flame, quiet but noticeable heat, crackling audio, glass and mesh front, and a finished trim come together into something I'm happy to look at every night. It's not perfect, but the trade-offs are clear and reasonable, and the cozy factor is very real. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and drop your questions or your own experience in the comments. Thank you for watching.